Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome, dear students. I hope you are all well. Dear students, today we will start a new lesson which is children's fiction, and it is from unit number 3 on page number 63. So the lesson is the laughter potion. What is a potion? A potion is a liquid with healing, magical or poisonous properties. So dear students, this lesson is about two classmates, Maud and Mildred, and their school teachers and some witches. So let's start reading. The laughter potion. The school in the next text is very different from Mr. Gradgrind's school and the schoolmaster. The school is an imaginary school for witches. Witches are women thought to have magic powers, especially evil ones, or an ugly or unpleasant woman. Maud and Mildred are pupils at the school, and Miss Harbroom is the school teacher. On this morning, the girls have a potion test. They are going to be tested on how well they have learned their spells and recipes for the potions. All the pupils go into the potion laboratory and get out their cauldrons ready to start the test. Cauldrons mean a large metal pot with the lid and a handle, ready to start the test. So dear students, as I told you before, this lesson is about two classmates or two friends, Maud and Mildred, and their school teacher and some witches. So here we have find the words in the paragraph above for the following three definitions. Number one is a mixture of ingredients used in medicine or magic. Find the word for this sentence. Number two is special words spoken to make magic. Number two. And number three is a big heavy iron pot used for boiling and cooking. Now read the text of the laughter potion. Okay, dear students, so you have to find the words in these paragraphs. For these three sentences or definitions. So now we will start the lesson. Okay, so now here we have a picture. This is Miss Harbroom, their teacher, and Maud and Mildred. So this is about the lesson, and we will start our lesson from page number 64. So dear students, here we have paragraph number 1. Come along, girls, to a cauldron, barked Miss Harbroom. Today we shall make a laughter potion. No textbooks to be used. Put that book away this instant. This instant mean immediately or right now. Mildred, work quietly, and when you have finished, you may take a small sip of the mixture to make sure it is correctly made. You may begin. So Miss Harbroom is telling the girls that come along, girls, to a cauldron, and today we shall make a laughter potion, and no textbooks are allowed. Put the books away immediately. And she told Mildred to work quietly, and when you have finished your work, you may take a small sip of the mixture to make sure that it is correctly made, and then she told her that you may begin. So here we have paragraph number 2. Maud and Mildred were sharing a cauldron, of course, but unfortunately, neither of them had learned that particular spell. So, Maud and Mildred were sharing one cauldron, of course, but unfortunately, they had not learned the particular spells for the experiment or for the potion. I think I can remember it vaguely. Whispered, vaguely mean nearly. Whispered Maud bits of it. Anyway, she began to sort through the ingredients which had been laid out on each workbench. So Maud is telling Mildred that I think I can remember it nearly, bits of it anyway, and she began to classify through the ingredients that had been laid out on each workbench for the experiment. So we have paragraph number 3. When everything was stirred mean mix or blend together in the cauldron, the bubbling liquid was bright pink. Mildred stared at it doubtfully. When everything was stirred together in the cauldron, the bubbling liquid was bright pink. Mildred stared at it doubtfully. So, dear students, when they mix all the ingredients and the bubbling liquid became bright pink, Mildred stared at it very doubtfully. "I'm sure it should be green," she said. "In fact, I'm sure we should have put in a handful of pondweed gathered at midnight. Pondweed mean a plant. It is a plant." Now, Mildred tells Maud that I'm sure that it should be green, and in fact, I'm sure we should use or we should put a handful of pondweed gathered at midnight. Then Maud asked her, "Are you sure?" Mildred replied that yes, not very definitely. "Absolutely sure." Maud asked her again, "You know what happened last time?" Then she asked her that, "You know what happened last night?" "I'm quite sure," insisted Mildred. So Mildred possessed. "Anyway, there's a handful of pondweed laid out on each bench. I'm positive we are supposed to put it in." "Oh, all right," said Maud. "Go on then. It can't do any harm." Mildred grabbed the pondweed and dropped it into the mixture. They took turns at stirring it for a few minutes until it began to turn dark green. "What a horrid color," said Maud. Horrid mean horrible. So, dear students, they both forget the specific spells for the mixture or the potion, and now they are doing the experiment. So everything was blended together in the cauldron, and the color of the liquid was bright pink. Mildred was surprised, and she was staring at it very doubtfully. Then she said that, "I'm sure it should be green. In fact, I'm sure we should put in a handful of pondweed." So Maud asked her that, "Are you sure?" She replied, "Yes, not very definitely." Maud asked her again, "Absolutely sure?" And Mildred possessed that, "I'm quite sure." And then she told Maud that there is a handful of pondweed laid out on each bench, and I'm positive we are supposed to put the pondweed in the liquid. So Maud said that, all right, go on, then it can't do any harm. It will not harm anyone or us. So what Mildred did, she grabbed the pondweed and dropped it into the mixture, and then the color of the liquid turns dark green. Then Maud became scared and she said, "What a horrid color." So dear students, this was your lecture for today, and the next 3 paragraphs I will teach you in the next lecture inshallah. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.